Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing well today. As you already can see from the title of the video, in today's session I'm going to explain how can we save data from a UI into a data table with the help of activities. So in today's session I'll be creating an activity rule, and with the help of activity I'll be using some obj methods to save data into a data type. Okay, so let's get started. If you can see my screen and if you have seen my earlier sessions, so you might already remember that we have a data type called students. Let me quickly open it for you. So this student data type will have four fields, which is age, email, phone, student name, and the key for this table is PY ID. Okay, now if you remember the training case that we were building, so in that training case on the first screen, we were asking if you are a new user, if you select yes, then there will be the set of fields that we will ask the new user to fill. Now, in today's session, what we are going to do is the values that the new user will enter on this form, right? We will try to save these values into this students table. So if I show you the records, so as of now, I have one record, but this is a different record. Now, once we configure successfully the activity and all the logic inside the activity, so what would happen is every time a new user comes and logins into the system, creates a new training case, fills this form, so the data, we will store it into the students table. Okay. So how do we do that? So first thing that we need to understand is whenever we want to perform any action on submit of a screen, so the code that you're going to write, be it a data transform or be it an activity, you have to place it in the post processing of the flow action rule. Okay. So let me try to open the flow action rule for you. So I'll go to the training class, I'll expand it, and first we will open the case type rule. Okay, from the case type rule, you can go to the flow, and from the flow, we will open the flow action. So this is the first primary stage, and the flow that gets called at backend is enrollment underscore flow. So if we want to find out, we are talking about this screen, the first screen, which is enter students details. So if we want to know what is the flow action that gets called, we will double click on the connector, and from the connector, we can open the flow action rule. So whatever logic we are going to build, right, under the action tab, you have the post processing configurations. So from the post processing, you can call an activity, you can call a data transform, and you can also call a saveable data page. So let's try to build this logic or fulfill this requirement by using activities. Okay. So first, let me create a new activity. I'll do everything from the scratch so that you guys also can follow the approach that I'm taking to implement this particular use case. Okay, so let us first create an activity and let us call this activity as save student details. Okay, and from here only we'll try to open it, create and open. Basically this icon is create and open. Okay, so the rule name is this, the class is correct, and then the rule set is correct. From here we can do create and open. Okay, so first thing that we have to do is we need to define some pages and classes. Okay, so we need to define a page that will be pointing to this data class. Okay, so let us call students. Let us name the page as student and let us give the class as the data class in which we want to save. Okay. Now, what we would do is we would do a page new method. So what does page new does? Page new will create a new page for us in the clipboard. Okay, and we want to create a page called students. Okay, this will be our step one. Once we have created a new page, a blank page basically, then we need to do some property sets onto the newly created page. Okay, so here, step number two, first we need to understand, since this is getting called from a flow action, right? So the context in which this complete activity will run is the case type, which is the PY work page. So if you go and see, if we try to see the clipboard structure, let us save this actually, and let us try to open the clipboard and see where the data is getting saved, because our requirement is we need to store this data into the data type. Okay. So first we need to see the clipboard and see from where we can fetch the data that user has entered on the case type. So let's go to the PY work page. Under PY work page, we have a page called student details. And under student details, we have the data that we are trying to store it into the data type. Okay. So we need to fetch so the source in our activity will be this page, PY work page dot student details, and these properties, and the target will be the data type page, the temporary page that we have created. So let me go back to my activity. So here we first step we have already defined the empty page, and in next step we are going to basically pull all the 4 properties from this path. Okay, so let me actually define py work page also. So what is py work page? So this is our work class that we have. Okay, so now on the students page, we need to set. So on the students page, we need to set age. So from where we will get age? So age will be present in py work page dot student details dot age, right? And then we also need to set email. So from where email is coming? So email is coming from py work page dot student details dot email, and so on. Other 2 properties also we will capture. Let me quickly configure it. Let me save the activity role. Okay, and now in the first step, we have created an empty page. In the second step, we are successfully capturing all the values from our case type into this new page, which is the student page. Then what do? Then we will use the Obj-Save method. So what does Obj-Save does? Obj-Save will basically, it's a method that is used to save the contents of a page into database. Okay, so now this is our page. It has the data, and we have done Obj-Save with the right now. What is right now? Right now is nothing but commit. If you don't do right now, this will be considered as a deferred save, and this data will only remain in memory. It will not be pushed to the DB, the actual database. Okay, but in this case, we want the data to be committed and written to the data table. That is what we have selected this right now, or the commit. Okay, that's all we have to do. Then let's also add a cleanup. So whenever we are creating user pages in activities for our calculation, right? So it is always advised to do a cleanup also. So by using page remove, after we successfully save the data into data type, we will clear it we'll clear the page by using the page remove method. Now our activity is good. It is ready. Let us save the flow action rule once and let us test this out. Okay, so the flow action. So how this would behave is, as soon as we submit the flow action, right, our activity will get called, and then in the activity, the data will be captured from the py work page dot student details page, embedded page, into the step page that we have created. Okay, and then this will be pushed into the data type. Okay, so let me put the rule on trace, and then let me create a new case actually, or maybe refresh this one itself. And let's see if the data will get saved or not into the data type. Okay, so a student name is Tanu, age is 20, email is this, and phone number is this. Let me quickly refresh the records explorer also to see how many records are there before I hit submit. Okay, so only one record is there, which is for student name Ravi. So if our code works successfully, so now on submit, this student record should be successfully entered into our data type. So let me submit and see what happens. Okay, the assignment has been completed. Let me come back and refresh this. Oh, there you go. So you see, successfully we are able to insert the new student data into the data type that we created. Okay, so this is a very basic use case, but you may be having in your real project, you may be having scenarios like this, wherein you may end up capturing some data from the UI, and then you may have a requirement to store it into a data table on the submit of the screen. So if you have such requirement, so this is one of the approaches that you can use to implement this. However, there are other approaches also available. But since I wanted to talk a little bit about activities and the Obj-Save method, so that is why this is a use case that I took for today's session. I hope you were able to get some useful information in this video. Kindly subscribe to my channel and stay tuned to all the latest sessions or videos that I'll be posting on Pega topics. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.